Hey, well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. Yes, and check out this news coming out of Metro Detroit in America. Check this out.
Alleged human trafficking ring in Macomb County is now out of business.
It was allegedly run out of a massage parlor and even a Detroit casino.
CBS News Detroit's Gino Vici is on your block in Mount Clemens with more on the arrests.
The investigation began last year from a tip the Macomb County Sheriff Department received about women being solicited for sex online. Their investigation uncovered a human trafficking and prostitution ring run out of massage parlors in 6 different cities and 4 different counties.
During the course of this investigation, a total of 42 search warrants were completed to aid in the investigation.
Macomb County Sheriff Anthony Wickersham says these 3 women were arrested for running a prostitution and human trafficking ring out of massage parlors and homes across Metro Detroit. The sheriff says women were offered for sex online. Many of them had no transportation and were shuffled between massage parlors in Livonia, Shelby Township, Mount Clemens, and Fraser.
The first individual was Lori C., 31 years old. Second suspect was Shu Ling Ding, 41 years old. And the third suspect was Shon Hung Ban.
Investigators with the Computer Sex Crimes Unit at the Macomb County Sheriff's Department were given a tip last year that led to more than a dozen arrests and these women being taken into custody. So far, no indication any minors were involved.
Thankfully, to this point, we have found that no children were involved at this time. However, as Sheriff Wickersham stated, this is still an ongoing investigation.
These crimes are generally committed by way of the internet, as the sheriff has indicated, as well as in regards to once they become friendly or trusted from the internet, then the human trafficking starts.
And that, according to Macomb County Prosecutor Peter Lucido, means that there are computers and other devices that have been seized during the investigation. And that means there could be many more arrests in this case. Sheriff Wickersham says this could be just the beginning.
So there's still a lot to do.
The sheriff says some of the money from this prostitution ring was sent back to China. And because this human trafficking ring was coordinated online and many more devices are being reviewed right now, it could lead to many more arrests in this case. In Macomb County, Gino Vici, CBS News, Detroit.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, we're dealing with human trafficking, and they finally caught the culprits. 3 women that was running a human trafficking ring. And the human trafficking ring deals with prostitution, put them on the street so they can make money for them, and it's stand back away from China. But what I want to see, what's going on too, see whatever's in the dark comes out in the light. The Bible says that. But what I want to also see, in this case, there was no report of any young children. This is human trafficking. But what I want to see is more cases on child trafficking, because it is big too as well. Kids are taken from their families, adopted from their families, and they don't see their families ever again. And I always say, I'm a big advocate of prayer. And I always say this: pray over your children, protection. Pray over your children and pray over yourselves that you are protected too as well. Pray over your children and pray every day that when you wake up in the morning, when you step out, that you're protected. Why? Because you never know what the devil could be lurking around the corner. You never know. Because when you're adopted, you don't see your family ever again. Unless it's something important that the government gotta rescue you, but you don't see them again. If it's not important to the government, or you're not important, the only your family that will really push and fight for you, to find you, whether you're a child or adult. It's only your family that's gonna miss you. Only your family that's gonna really reach out for you and reach out to the authorities to find your whereabouts. But other than that, that's why I say prayer for God's protection. And this is coming out of CBS News. Big news happened 3 days ago. These women was probably for a long time running this human trafficking ring. Long time, and they was abducted women, as you can see, according to their sources, that these women they had transportation, but they were being manipulated and being brainwashed to make money for these 3 women, Asian women, on the street. But I'm glad they caught. I'm glad that that's good news. I'm glad they caught just before Christmas, just before they're caught. Whatever was in the dark, it came out in the light, and they're caught. They're caught. They're caught. And if you're doing wicked things, it will be revealed. It will be revealed. And I just pray that more cases like this come out, because people are missing. This happened in Metro Detroit, Metro Detroit, and there was another case maybe about a few months ago, several months ago, maybe in the summertime, about children missing in the same city. So I really hope that this is taken more serious and more pushed. And we gotta be mindful about whereabouts, where we go, who we talk to, and we have to train your children not to talk to strangers, not to converse with strangers, especially when you see an adult conversing with a child. It's weird, and the child never met that person before. Be careful of that. We gotta be fully aware of our whereabouts and where we go. Even as adults, you gotta be fully aware of where you go and your whereabouts, because it said that they finally got caught. Lord knows how long this has been going on. They finally got caught, and now these women are. Who knows how much these women are not only in the business by themselves. They probably have other partner affiliates that's a part of this human trafficking as well. Human trafficking is all over. Human trafficking is here in the US too as well. And the only way, I say prayer and be aware of your surroundings. And if your kids are older and they're traveling on their own and they're going to school on their own, teach them that this thing exists, and do not be so quick to be so friendly with everybody. Don't be so quick to be so friendly with everybody, and be mindful of your whereabouts. Teach them how to be alert. Teach them to be mindful of their whereabouts. Because not everybody that has a smile on their face mean you well. They could be looking at you for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden now you're being followed. You're being followed. And it can happen to anyone. It can happen. So that's why I say I'm a big advocate of prayer for God's protection on your life, because tomorrow's not promised to anyone. One day you could be standing on the street corner waiting for a bus, and people can approach you, especially when you're young, and they just. So human trafficking is still going on. Child trafficking is still going on, and we just got to be aware and conscious of our whereabouts. Well, the live word today is coming to the 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 15. Do not know. Let me just read that. Okay, yeah. Do not know your bodies are members of Christ? Shall I take the members of Christ and make them prostitutes? Never. Your body belongs to God. Your body don't belong to nobody else. They don't own your body. You're God's property, especially if you're a child of God. You're God's property. They don't own your body. They don't control you and own your body. If God gave us free will, why should he let another person control you? Why should he let another person manipulate you and control you? No. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. And those who are tuning in, I thank you for tuning in. Those who celebrate the holiday, Christmas, happy holidays to you and your family. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. I got more videos coming. And if you like what I shared today, you like the news that I shared today, you can smash that like button. Also subscribe to my channel, Zacchaeus Gospel. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Happy holidays. Be safe on this holiday. Be safe and enjoy yourself and enjoy you and your family. And be safe and protect your family and enjoy the moments with your family. Enjoy the moments with your family. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings.